Hey Latin learners! Now that we have a lovely little pond for our fish to swim in, I think we need a magical forest to go with it. It'll be the perfect place to escape the hustle and bustle of the busy harbor. Let's get to it! Henle Vocabulary Lesson 23. Our first word is tribunus, which is a super easy word to remember because it looks exactly like its definition, which is tribune. And that was a type of officer back in the day. Next we have consilium, which is an important word to pay attention to because we have another word coming up that's spelled almost exactly the same, except for one key difference, which is the S in the middle of the word. The next word is spelled with a C in the middle. And even though this is such a minor difference, thankfully it's reflected in their definitions. So consilium with an S means plan or council. Council also spelled with an S. And this is the type of counsel that refers to a plan or some sort of advice. Then we have concilium, spelled with a C, which means counsel, also spelled with a C. And this is the type of counsel that actually refers to a group of people making important decisions. Then we have legatus, which is another officer type term, but it's helpful to remember the word legal when thinking of this because it means envoy or lieutenant, those who carried out the law. Then we have latus. This word has a ton of different English derivatives. A couple examples are lateral, which refers to things that are on the sides, or even latitude, as in longitude and latitude, the imaginary lines that divide up the Earth. The latitude lines, though, are the ones that go horizontally and separate it that way instead of going up and down. And this word means wide. Next we have facile. We actually have an English word that's spelled exactly the same, except it's pronounced facile. Facile in Latin actually means the same thing as the English version. Easily. Labor, laboris. You can probably guess what this means. Actually, though, it's given as like synonyms of the word labor, labor, effort, or toil. So you can translate with the word labor, but in the answer keys you're going to be finding effort or toil, most likely. We have ordo, ordinis. This word is easy to remember if you think of the word order, because it means rank of soldiers. And this is the kind of rank that means rank as in like who's in charge of who. This soldier is the one in charge, and this one is the subordinate, that kind of rank. We have obses, obsedis. I'm not sure if the word that I use to remember this, it actually refers to this or is related to this word in Latin or not. I think of the word obscene, which is a word that Shakespeare used to describe events that were taking place off the stage, obscene, out of the stage, off the stage, out of the scene, that were usually like violent or horrible things that he didn't want to actually do in the play, so he put them off of the scene and then had the characters come back in and act as if the thing had happened. So that's the word I think of. You can come up with your own way to remember this word, but it means hostage. One important thing to remember about this word is it's given this C here right after it, which means common gender. And that just means that this word can be either masculine or feminine. Same declension, same endings that it always has, just it can be labeled as masculine or feminine depending on the context or the words describing it. Next is inter. You can think of this word by thinking of the English word inter with an E. It means between or among, a preposition that goes with accusative. Then we have statim, which I know you guys are going to catch on to right away. Because we use stat quite often, we just say stat, and we mean at once or immediately. This is so fun! We should invite a villager to come live here. Okay, let's see if we can go back over these words and remember what they mean. Our first word is tribunus, which means tribune. Then we have concilium with an S, which means plan or council. Then we have concilium with a C instead of an S, which means council. Legatus, which means envoy or lieutenant. Latus, which means wide. Facile, which means easily. And labor, laboris, which means effort or toil. Ordo, ordinis, which means rank. Obses, obsedis, common gender, means hostage. Then we have inter, preposition with accusative, right, which means between or among. And statim, and that's the easy one. That means at once or immediately.
What a pleasant little area. I think I could get lost exploring all this forest has to offer. And we have a new villager friend to share it with. Great work, everyone. See you next time.